Okay, so Prey is now out, and god damn, this is a really good film. It's a really good film. You know what I mean? It's a Predator prequel, right? It's a Predator prequel, and I think one of the big things about this, when you look at the films, you know what I mean? Like also 87 Predator, that was so freaking good, right? So freaking good. We then get some stuff that just doesn't quite hit, doesn't quite hit. You know, everything's a little bit disappointing, which is a real shame. It's a real shame. But well, I have to say, right, the idea of Predators, I think that was, I believe Predators was the Shane Black version, where they kidnap the people and they do all the thing, right? That's what I think. Um, Now that was definitely had some interesting stuff. Definitely had some interesting stuff about it, but yeah, there was a lot of things that just didn't. No, actually, I think the Predator was a Shane Black one. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, promising, doesn't quite hit it, but you know what I mean. We get this. We get this. And yeah, it's crazy. This one is pretty crazy, right? It is directed by ugh, trying to pronounce these names, man. Dan Trachtenberg, right? I think that's how you say it. Which this is only his second feature, right? Which is crazy because in my head I feel he'd done quite a few things, you know. But yeah, this is his second feature after 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now he's directed what The Boys, he's done The Lost Symbol, he's done Black Mirror. But yeah, this is his second feature film, and boy, so he created this story with Patrick Aison. Aison wrote the screenplay. The film is produced by John Davis, Marty P. Ewing, uh, Jan Myers. It is executive produced by Mark Tuberoff, John Thomas, Jim Thomas, Ben Rosenblatt, Lawrence Gordon, and associate produced by Tyson Brewer. Music is handled by Sarah Schockner. Cinematography is Jeff Cutter. It is edited by Claudia Castello and Angela M. Catanzaro. Casting was handled by Renee Haynes. Production design is Amelia Brooke and Cara Lindstrom. Art direction is Kendall Elliott, Megan Fenton, Elisa Hill, and James Stewart. Costume design is Stephanie Portnoy Porter, with makeup and all of that stuff. Walliza Amber, Chase Cardinal, Bonnie Ephraim, Makio Gomyoy, Anthony Groh, Kyra McPherson, Melissa Ramez, Jeff Redcap, Samantha J. Rumble, Joe D. Thompson, Sandra Valencia, and Barbara Zazabidia. And our cast. Well, Naru is played by Amber Midthunder. Her brother Tabe is played by Dakota Beavers. You have Wazeb, played by Stormy Kit. Aruka, played by Michelle Fresh. Chief Kehetu, by Julian Black Antelope. Samu, his wife, is played by Stephanie Mathias. Raphael, played by Bennett Taylor. Big Beard, played by Mike Pedersen. Waxed Moustache, played by Nelson Liaz. Then these are, I guess, these are the names she gave to the Dutch, right? Hoopy, played by Timon Carter. Taboo, played by Sky Pelita. Itzy, played by Harlan Blaine Kayahata. Parker, played by Corbin Mack. Pui, played by Samuel Marty. Yeah, I would say probably they're our main ones. The Predator himself is played by Dane DeLegio. So yeah, now the gist of the film is this, right? A newest entry in the Predator franchise. 20th Century Studios' Prey is an all-new action thriller set in the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. It is the story of a young woman, Naru, a fierce and highly skilled warrior who has been raised in the shadow of some of the most legendary hunters who roam the Great Plains. So when danger threatens her camp, she sets out to protect her people. The prey she stalks and ultimately confronts turns out to be a highly evolved alien predator with a he's got technology, right? He's got an arsenal. Resulted in a vicious and terrifying showdown between the two adversaries. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I mean, it is crazy, right? It is crazy. I will say that description does do it a little disservice, right? Because she wants to be, she's not a warrior, right? She wants to be a warrior, and that's this film is about that journey in a way, you know what I mean? So, yeah, she's trying to prove herself to become a warrior. She sees something in the sky, right? We know it. We know it's a predator ship. She has no clue. She sees this thing, and she thinks, "Oh, this is a sign, right? This is something that's telling me I'm about to become a warrior." So there's a big lion. A lion has attacked the camp. Her brother and other warriors go out to hunt it. She follows, and she's like, "I want to be a part of this." But here's the thing, right? There's moments in this film where she's in a position to do something and she falters. You know what I mean? She falters, right? But what is I enjoyed the fact that we got to see that learning curve here, right? We got to see the evolution of who she is. But she goes away and she practices with the tomahawk, right? We see her practicing. Right? She does a thing with a rope, which very impressive. I don't know how much it would work, right? Because I guess you have to figure out the weight of the thing and the tool can pull back and the spit, just all of these things. But who am I to call doubt to something like this? You know what I mean? But yeah, so we see her practicing, doing all this training. She's got a trusty dog with her. And then she keeps on wanting to prove herself, right? It's like Robert the Bruce thing. first you don't succeed, try, and try again, right? So you gotta think, yo, I respect the fuck out of that. You know what I mean? I respect that, right? So she's trying to be a warrior. That's what she wants. She's trying to be a warrior. And just the way this film unfolds, because it's just like there's a lot of guys, they're just like, ugh. And her brother, it's her brother, right? So there's some teasing and all of that, but he's very measured in the approach, and they give her the opportunities and stuff like that. Now we see, you know, the Dutch, right? We've got the Dutch um hunters, right? They're involved, which then completely change the dynamic, right? So what you're watching this thing, and you're like, oh, this is interesting, and then you throw like the Dutch into it, and it's like, oh shit, this is now something else. Like, what the fuck? Where is this going? Right? How is this all gonna be? And when you think of the first Predator film, you know, I guess with things like this, there is a fear of a retread, you know, but what it does do, it looks at the things that worked in the first Predator, right? So we don't see the Predator a lot. Don't see the Predator a lot. We get close ups of the big fucking hands with the claws at the end. Right? We see all of this, like curling the fingers and just all of that. We have like maybe see the teeth, and so you get these glimpses, and then especially with the camouflage, and so some bits are camouflage, some bits aren't, and all of this is building up the tension. You know what I mean? Building up the tension, which is frigging great. Now there are definitely more shots of the Predator, right? But nothing crazy clear. But it does do a great job of like showing the size. You know, as we see footprints, right? But when you see like just the size of this Predator in comparison, you just like, oh, fuck, you know. And then some of this tech he uses, I know, like, yeah, a lot of it I don't think we've seen, which is correct. Man, there was this crazy thing on the arm that kind of opens like this big, like, ah, it's some great shit, some great shit. And the other joy of setting it in this is no one would have any clue of this tech, right? No one. So there's a great scene with the Dutch when this whole big thing goes down, and it's like, yeah, of course, who would know, right? And it's just loads of just great things like that. You know what I mean? We've got I think one like big thing they talk about with this film is that it's the first film with a Comanche um ugh, audio track. I was like, oh, what's the word for talking and audio? Yeah, it's got a Comanche audio track, and I think we do hear Comanche in the in the English language version, right? But yeah, so we hear Dutch, Comanche. It's all these elements help blend, right, and give you the feel of it being set at this time. And it does feel like it's been set in this time. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're immersed in this whole thing. And one thing we know, you know, what I mean, the Native Americans and everything, that they're very in tune with nature, right? With the animals and all of this kind of stuff. So the movement and everything like that, you're like, oh, that makes sense, right? Being able to fight a prey, like it makes sense. So we get all of these things, all of this doubt, but then when it all comes together, god damn it, comes together, people. right? We have some really, really good fight scenes. Really good fight scenes. Some shit happened so fast, I just had to rewind it and be like, yo, what was that bit? What happened there? Yo. So it's engaging. It feels fresh. This really is the Predator film we have been waiting so friggin' long for, people. Believe it. This really is. I highly, highly recommend this film. It's crazy, man. Like, so you think it's 4 years since the last Predator? Feels like ages, right? To be honest, I don't even remember the 2018 one. I kind of remember the 2010. I don't remember the 2018. So it just feels like so long since we had a Predator film, and so long since we've had a good, you know what I mean? 87, a good fucking Predator film. So this, boy, although, you know what I mean? When some of the other franchises has stunk so much, it does mean that you could just be okay and your head's above. But this, people, is so much more than okay. This is fucking awesome. Yeah, people, if you love like the idea of the Predator, you enjoyed that first film, you'll dig this for sure. You will dig this. All right. So Prey, it's now on Disney Plus. Go get you some.